Well, all right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the
Good morning.
Empowered Morning Show. Ladies, how are you this beautiful,
Wonderful.
amazing, wonderful
I'm blessed.
Wednesday?
Blessed.
Blessed,
Winning.
yes. Blessed, honey. Blessed coming in,
Winning.
blessed going out. Blessed, blessed, blessed. That's how we waking up this morning. This is the day that the Lord has made. And we're
Yes.
going to rejoice and be glad in it, right? Because why? I believe God. Do you believe God? I
I,
believe
I
God.
believe God. Do you believe God? I believe God. I believe God. I believe
good
God. I
morning.
believe God. Yo, you got to
Yeah.
get that so deep in your soul that every time somebody try to come punch you, you say, you punch them back with, I believe God. I believe God. And it's not your physical touch. See, people ready to fight. Like, it's not,
Right.
put down them darn fists. Put it down and fight like you have never fought before. And that's standing on God's word, standing on what I believe, standing on I trust you, Lord, with my whole heart, and I
Mhm.
will not and I shall not lean to my own understanding. In all my ways, that's personal. That means my ways. In all my ways, I, Sparkle Tanika Osborne, has a responsibility to rejoice and be glad in. I just gave y'all, I just did a mix on that for you. I did
Boom.
Proverbs 3, 5, 6. Then I added y'all know what I mean. See,
But you said they got
Girl.
a little bit of everything. Got
so
a little
much
bit of
word is
everything.
in me right now. See, what happened was I've been up since 2, y'all. So
Okay.
anytime I've been up since 2 a.m., the world should watch out.
Hey, they not ready. They not
In
ready,
the
but they
midnight
better
No,
hour,
get
baby.
we
ready.
turning it
They
around.
not
Get
ready.
ready. You hear
Okay.
me? Listen, let me shout out to everybody. Miss Doris, Miss Phyllis, Miss Patricia. Good to see you all this morning. We appreciate you all showing up. I know y'all are ready for it. Thanks for all of the other viewers who are on our Facebook that have not commented. For those who are on Instagram, for those on our YouTube channels, we appreciate you plugging in the mornings with us, getting that charge to start your day off the right way. If you know somebody else who, be coming to the job and acting crazy, tell them to come on
Honey.
to the Empower Morning Show so they can get themselves together, right? So they can get the right energy when they go into their job. Or your spouse is acting a little funny this morning.
Honey,
Go on
come
and
on.
play
Go
us so they
back.
can get it in their spirit. Because sometimes you don't have to say anything. You just need to press play and let it start getting into their ear gates so that they'll start thinking like, you know what? Why am I over here feeling all crazy? Why am I over here sad or worried or stressed or anxious? The word says be anxious for nothing, baby.
Honey.
So listen, get plugged
Everything.
in so you can be ready for your day and know all
Right.
you got to do is believe God. I believe God.
I believe
Believe God.
God. I believe God. I can believe God in whether I'm shouting, whether I'm crying, whether I'm praying. I'm still
Yeah,
believing God. I believe in God in every
Yep.
situation and in form.
every
Yesterday,
situation.
y'all, was a challenging day for me. But guess what? They let me wake up again. They let me wake up on November 6th on 2026.
Yes.
Look, I ain't went to 2026. On
I
Girl.
need to jump
2025.
ahead. I know. Wait a minute. I was like, wait a
Wait
minute.
a
We ain't
minute.
there
We
yet.
haven't got to 2025.
She
2024.
was saying she was up at 2 a.m. So, baby, listen, she didn't jetted over some years and
That's
got
just how my
did some
life is
things.
getting ready to go. It's gonna be a suddenly
That
move,
is
a suddenly blessed. Yes,
yeah,
indeed, Sparkle Tanika Osborne. It
Get it,
won't
girl.
be long.
it
God's
won't be
decree.
long.
These are gonna happen so fast, girl. You're gonna be like
Head swimming blessings.
head swimming
Women's
blessings.
blessings.
Give them. Catch these blessings this morning. Catch the blessings this morning. Do not let your emotions get you in a situation.
At
Don't
all.
let those emotions get you all tied up and all confused of who
Mm.
God is and what God will do. Remember, if you don't remember anything else, God is in full control.
Full.
Always.
Okay,
Always.
Regina, what's the scripture today?
Okay, y'all ready? Okay, Philippians 4 and 7. I'm telling you, this just flows. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. Well, come on.
Come
Thank you.
on,
What
Regina.
I'm saying is thank you because you know what? I believe God, so I know what this means to me. This is straight up telling me already what's happening. Right? Already, let me tell you what, Philippians 4 and 7, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus.
Did you say it would guard? That it guards me?
Yeah.
It guards my heart?
Yeah.
Your heart and your mind, baby.
And my mind?
I'm not kidding you. I know, and we're always looking for affirmations. Let the Bible be your affirmation when you read it and apply it to your life. You see so much more clearly. I mean, all I can tell you is if you put in the word, you'll literally see. So this actually flows into what I want to bring forth. Hey, Reverend Pat. This actually goes into what I really want to present to you guys. And it's going to flow. But I need you to, what I need is you to pay attention. Okay? Pay attention. If you have a notebook or whatever, write some things down or just memorize it in here. I'm going to be going back and forth so I need you guys to pay close attention. And I want Q&A because these are questions that need to be brought out. We're first going to start. Due to our chaotic childhood, filled with trauma, abuse, neglect, we miss many developmental milestones. Hence, it is so difficult for us now in adult life to regulate our emotions. Did you guys hear what I said? Now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to ask a few questions and then I'm going to take you back of where this begins. Remember, I'm coming from a holistic perspective, okay? So follow me. This is talking about to accept yourself. To accept yourself. 1, what critical inner voices of judgment do I harbor towards myself and how can I cultivate self-compassion in response? Okay?
Read the question again, Regina.
I'm going to read it. What critical inner voices or judgment do I harbor towards myself? And how can I cultivate self-compassion in response? What we project of ourselves, okay? A lot of times of what we have in us, we project on somebody else. You see what I'm saying? So we're harboring all these things. Let me tell you why. These are called broken places need the love most. You guys paying attention? I'm going to start with the heart. The heart is broken through rejection and abandonment. Okay? Okay? And I'm speaking to your body. I'm speaking to your inner self, okay? Pay attention. 2, how do I define worthiness? And what criteria do I use to measure my own worth? What does worth look like to you? Whatever your worth looks like, that's what you're projecting on yourself. Whatever a man think of, so he is. So he is. It's so important that we get this because this is where our inner healing starts. We have to look within. We can no longer look without. We already know what out looks like. Now we have to see what in looks like. Then we're going to take you back. The body. The body is broken through neglect and abuse. Once we start understanding where this comes from and how it affects us in adulthood, to accept ourselves. People don't know your story. They don't know what you've been through. And you make some of us make it very graceful, like we ain't never been through nothing.
Right.
You know, these are the questions that you start to have asking yourself so you can have that inner healing. 4, in what ways do you seek external validation or approval to fill a void within yourself? What kind of what are you seeking to validate you? We need to stop looking outward.
Yes.
And start looking inward because this is where it is. This is where your greatness is. Everything around us that we keep saying we're in this world, but we're not of this world. I'm not of this world. I'm in me. I'm in me, meaning I'm in me. It means I have to stay connected to the Most High God. Yeah. There's no other way around it.
That's why where's the church?
Okay? Okay? The mind. is flowing, okay? The mind suffers after the heart and the body have been broken.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
It follows.
Okay? So, some break a little harder and some are just like they have cracks in them.
Yeah.
Okay? So what kind of damage are we having in our minds? Some of these, there's a lot of things that we have to look within so we can break the cycle. Because you will walk around broken and undefeated and not be able to transform into what God has called you to do. Okay, let's go with number 5. What fears arise when I consider fully embracing my uniqueness and individuality? My goodness, why? Why is there so much anxiety to bring it in? You know, and a lot of times, these are good questions. These are questions that you need to start asking
These
yourself.
are great questions. And you know what, Regina, I want to put a pin in it because you went through them, but they're so deep that we got to go back and do a little time. So I want you to go back to number 1 because you started with the heart and you said that rejection and abandonment. Yes. So when we start looking at most women, especially, you know, and men too, when it comes to fathers, for a lot of people, if your father wasn't in your life, or if your father was there, but he said, I'm coming to get you, and he didn't show up, or your parents separated or got a divorce, and your father was no longer there, that abandonment that you felt spills over into the rest of your life. Or you get with a person that you have feelings for and you think everything is good, and then you experience a level of rejection that hits your heart. And so you wonder why, as you get older, you have issues of attachment or issues of, you know, showing emotions and things like that, because it's coming from a broken, you know, you're protecting your heart. Yeah. You don't want to give somebody everything because you're afraid that they're going to abandon you. Yes. And that even comes with not even with people not showing up. That comes with people who die in your life. Now you feel abandoned, like you left me. And you're dealing with those issues from a place of a broken heart. Yes. And people wonder why you act a certain way. Why do you have this wall built up? Because you're operating in a space of, I got to protect my heart, because every time I give it, something happens. I feel like I get abandoned, or I feel like I'm being rejected.
Right. Right.
And you have to, like, you can't just skip over that hurt. And right. So what we have known to do in our life, well, just get over it. Get past it. Right. Oh, you okay? No, healing takes time.
Healing takes time.
And don't put the timing on a clock or a watch. Timing is different. Yeah. I'm in a process of receiving healing from some childhood healing that happened years and years ago, that now I'm understanding what it is. So then when it gets activated, I don't know which one to go to. Should I go to the healing part, or should I block it so that it won't hurt me again? That's so if good. You burn your hand, you know it burnt your hand, but you have evidence that your hand is burned. When you don't have full evidence that it hurt, that is a different kind of hurt that you can't see it, but it's inside you, and your action speaks from that hurtful place. You speak from that whole hurtful place. You hurt deep down inside that you sometimes you feel like in your mind, I can't get past it. Right. But you can get past it if you go back to that place where it was. That's why we're saying so much about this Wednesday night. Today on Wednesday night, we are going to deal with some inner hurt, that hurt that has hurt you over and over again. And as Regina was saying, then it has activated as an adult. Yes, it happened when I was 2, but now I'm 50 and I'm still dealing with that hurtful, that hurt that I have not dealt with it because I haven't faced it. You know, I tell you all the time, look in the mirror
Exactly.
And you have to face that hurt. You have to
Have
face
to.
that hurt.
You have to. There's no other choice, y'all. There's no other choice. Let me go to the next one, because y'all, let me tell you what we're giving you in here, and you want to invest, definitely you need to be dropping in on the Zoom on tonight, okay? Because we can go more in depth. We can get it out. So let this penetrate your heart.
But hold on. Let's before you do that. Sorry, Regina. Before you do that, Kathy said my father passed when I was 8, and he was a great man. Let's soak that in for a minute. He was a great man. So Kathy is every man that comes in her life, she's comparing him to her father, because to her father was a great man. That man stood up for me. He stood by my side. He was there for me. He made sure nobody hurt me.
Right.
That's why when he died, she felt that abandonment, because the tape, the band-aids that he kept covered around her,
there you
now
go,
they were undone.
She said, because my protection from my father's gone, he's never coming back.
That's true.
And
I know
in God's way, in God's form, in God's way of doing it. But we have to be careful with these subjects. We have to be careful with this heart, because this heart right here, you only get one heart. You only get one life. You only get it. It's only one of them.
That's it.
And you know what I was thinking about when you were saying all that? When things are buried inside, you don't get to see that, right?
No.
So it's not like, you cut your finger, if you know that sometimes you cut your finger and you're going to put that alcohol at the peroxide, you hesitate because it's going to burn. You just like, oh, I don't want to put it on there because I know it's going to burn. But you got to put that on there in order to make sure that it's not going to get infected, and to cover with a Band-Aid. If you hesitate like that from the pain of healing something physical, what do you think it's like when you have something internal that you don't see? If you don't want to put the alcohol or peroxide on the external, imagine how you just say, okay, you know what, I'm not going to deal with that. It's too much hurt for me to try and heal. So you let it just sit inside, and you don't do what needs to happen in order to get that infection out, in order to get that so that it can start healing. It's buried inside, but you got to deal with it, because if you burn your arm and you don't do anything with it, it's going to get infected, and it's going to get to a place where you got to go to the doctor in order for them to make sure you don't have to get your arm amputated, because gangrene and all of that can set up. Think about in the physical, what's going on internally. Equate those two things that you have never dealt with, that you've allowed to just sit in here and you never brought out. You've never looked at it. You've never dealt with it.
No,
it's gangrene set up on that, on the inside of you.
That's it.
And not only that,
heal.
Angela, when you put that peroxide on that infection, you see the bubbles. You see how it bubbles up, and it bubbles because it's saying, "Oh, it's some infection in there. It's some infection," and that boiling is getting that out. That is when your heart is saying, "I have some infection in there," and every time that person comes and tries to talk to me, it starts bubbling up again, and it's bubbling up again, and it's bubbling up again, because I feel that infection rising back up to the top.
Yes.
But
Pat said the first step to true healing begins with asking ourselves, what is the root of my anger? Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry, I was reading from the play. What is the root of my anger? What is the root of my distrust? What is the root of whatever causes me to react in the ways that I do? There is always a root. Our reaction to the root is what is our reaction to the root is what is on the surface.
Yeah.
You gotta get to the root
cause.
Cheryl said you gotta address your trauma. You have
to.
Infection causes death if not taken care of. Come on.
If not taken care of. You know how many people die of bacteria infections?
Ooh, quickly.
Run past it. This type of soul work cannot be done on our own.
No.
If necessary, we need therapy. counseling, but more importantly, God's revelation of what we must address.
Must address.
Holy Spirit, help me to know what I need to address.
Yep, this is
And,
good.
and Kathy came back and she said, if you don't deal with it,
Yep,
if you don't deal with it, it will deal with you.
that's true.
That's it.
And that trauma that
That
you
part.
have lived through is why you can't find yourself to get up and keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Why you feel like I'm not enough.
Yep.
Why you feel like I'm not valuable. I don't understand my worth.
I was going to say that goes back to the question
cause.
Regina said about worth.
Yes.
How do you define worth?
How do you
define worth?
Yes.
Do
Because
you
if you define worth
or success
based on what somebody else said, you're never going to see yourself as lovable. You're not going to see yourself as worthy of financial gain. You're never going to see yourself worthy of having somebody good in your life. You're never going to feel like that if your worth, the definition of worth is skewed for you because somebody told you you're never going to be anything. All you good for is laying on your back. You too stupid. You're never going to be able to get a job like that. When your worth has been diminished because you believe in what somebody else has told you, you're never going to rise above that because you can't rise above where your mind thinks that you are.
Exactly. And you know what the sad part is?
You can't even vision. Yeah. You can't even see past that capability because that's as far as your capability can go to.
Exactly. And you know what the sad part is? When we be talking about flip and flow, okay? Let me tell you something. When people put that, when they project that craziness that they try to come at you with, and your mind, you know what? Okay, I'm going to accept this. So now you just carry this. The person that is really projecting that on you is a weak-minded person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they want you to, because they're weak-minded, they'll put that on you to try to damage your mind so it could be like theirs. But see, what they don't know, but God. But God. You see what I'm saying? Their words don't mean nothing when it comes down to it. At the end of the day, you guys, it's up here.
Baby, up they here, showing out up on the thing.
Mind locked and loaded. This is what we're trying. This is what we're giving you guys to keep your mind locked and loaded with the information that you're getting. That Dr. Sparkle is saying, that Angela is saying, that what I'm saying is to apply it to your life. Check us out. Check us out, right? It says check us out. See if we are lined up with what this word says. We have a reference.
Mm-hmm. Grandpa said the problem is that most of us don't realize we have been traumatized.
We have.
Michelle said, but the question is, but the question is, whose report do you believe?
Thank you.
And you got to believe the report past your report. Do you only, that goes back to that mindset. Are you only believing what you can believe? And then you put a a stopper. You can fill up the tub with water. And if you put that stopper in it, it's going to stop. When you turn the water off, it's going to keep it right there. But if you let it out, it just flows. It keeps on flowing.
It keeps on flowing.
Remove the stoppers. How do you get to the stopper? God, show me where I need to. Touch me, God. Show me where it needs. Mm-hmm. I know that love was a part of me. I didn't feel loved. So it's important for me to surround myself around people that love me. Because if I don't surround myself around people that loves me, then that trauma will where I've been working on that healing will rise back up. If you know that that's what you dealt with, you got to start, now you know what you need. You need people that love you for who you are. So now you got to surround yourself around people that will love you for who you are. Yes. Why are you way over there with that person that every day they showing you that they don't love you and you have abandonment issues?
You're going to latch on to anything. Shell said you got to know your true source of supply. Regina, this is good. Listen, tap in.
Tonight, if you guys want to finish it, so because there's more to this.
I know it's more.
We don't have enough time, so there's more to this. I'm telling you, you guys want to join on tonight. You want to get on the Zoom.
But
baby, because Regina got some stuff.
You gotta go slow. You gotta cuddle it. This is can't just boom, boom, boom. No.
Okay, so I'm just trying to tell you, this is on Wednesdays, so I had to let you know what this was
Tonight,
about.
yes, 8 p.m. We're doing every Wednesday for the month of November. So I'll put the flyer in there so you'll know the time, and make sure that you register for the Zoom. This is for any and everybody. We're not just saying if you watch the show. Cheryl said, you said the key word, the water.
The water.
Make sure that if you know that this is a time where you need to get into the healing sessions, because that's what it's going to be about, an empowered healing session. Take the time to unpack some things. Take the time to go back and visit some things that you have pushed to the side, that you have said, I'm not going to deal with that, that you feel like, oh, I'm okay, I'm good, when you know that
you're not.
You're not. And it's okay to not be okay. You just don't need to stay there.
We okay. Oh, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. You just don't have to stay there. Like Reverend Pat said, it's going to take something. You may not be able to do it by yourself, but this will be a start. Get into an environment where people are being open and vulnerable and transparent, so that you can, even if you don't say a word, it should, like Sparkle said, it's like the peroxide that bubbles up. You should feel something bubbling up in you. You may not say it, but you need to get with somebody who can help you to work through that. Because it is going to require work. It is going to require you to take some time with that, to go back to places that you really don't want to visit. But if you don't want that gangrene and infection bubbling up inside of you, you gotta make the time to get this up out of you. Reverend Pat said the healing process is not a spirit. It's not a sprint. It's a journey. This won't happen in 1 hour on a Wednesday. So you got to keep coming back. Reverend Pat will join us tonight. It's 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to have that time in its own Zoom, so that way everybody will be available to, share. Regina has already opened the floodgates, and I purposely went back and said, hold on, because I knew it was some things that maybe some people had to talk about, even with just the first two. With just the first two, because she started with the heart, and then you went to the body. But then you even said mind. Reverend Pat said, bring a journal or a notebook with you tonight to write down what God reveals to you.
Yes.
And I want, before you come tonight, I want you to have a real conversation with God. Take out time and have a conversation with God. And tell God, tell him what you want. You tell him when you need your light bill paid. You tell him when you need that new house. So I want you to tell him what you're running from. Tell him that it still hurts, God.
What you running from?
Tell him the truth. You do not have to hide behind anything, but he needs to hear it. He knows it. He already knows it, but you can't confront something that you won't admit to.
Yes, I like what Shell said. Read what Shell said. Don't die of the spiritual death.
Yes, don't die of spiritual death if you can get the help needed to transition.
Yes. And in the time that you're talking to him, take it into full prayer. God, this time when I do it, will you promise that you will be there with me, that you will protect me, that you will cover me? Let him give you his words back to him, and you give him his words back to him. But you have to open it up to him first. You can't just open it up to us. We're not God.
Right.
We're just servants of the Lord. So spend that time with him. Take out you some time that it's just about me and you, God.
Take your time out. Take your time out. It's all about you. That's what people don't get in about nobody else. What I have to say is, you know what? I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say, because it hasn't gotten me anywhere. Listen to everybody around you. All that noise, calm yourself a little bit. Give a little calmness to yourself. Give yourself a little bit of grace, and take it one day at a time, because it's between you and God. That's it.
Shoot, forget the one day. I'm going to tell you what I take. One moment at a time, God. Here we go, God. One moment at a time. But in the moment, I'm still, God, come with me. Don't leave me out here by myself, God. Come with me. Let's do this.
What did Felicia say? Read what
She
Felicia
said,
said. That's good.
honestly, that's the first step. He knows
Yep.
anyway. He's waiting on our truth. And Shell came back and said he never left. It is us who has left him.
There you
Exactly.
go.
Exactly. But we're completely out of
Okay,
time.
of course,
Look
we're out of time.
look for the flyer. It will be
Yes.
in, if you're not in our chat, send somebody a message real quick and let us know that you're not in our personal chat, because we will put the flyer and the Zoom link and everything on there. We will also put it on our page.
I'll put it on the page, yeah.
We'll
And then
also
the
put
link,
it on
yeah.
our
So we'll
page.
put it, yeah. Because
But
again,
if you don't have it by a certain, like if you don't have it by noon, you don't see something, contact one of us. They'll be like, oh well,
give it to you.
It must not be for me because
And if
I
you
don't
know
see
somebody who could benefit from it, that's a blessing.
Exactly.
That's a
yes.
seed sown
Share it.
into somebody's life.
I know my daughter's sitting with me. She might not want to, but she coming
Tonight.
tonight.
8 p.m. Eastern time, 7 Central Standard Time. It's going to be via Zoom, so we'll send the link so you can register, so you can get in. That once you register, that gives you access for the information for every week. We're doing it every Wednesday in the month of November. So y'all, this is the time. You know, if you've ever said, you know what, I got some things I need to deal with, and that should be all of us, because we all have things that we deal with. Period. You know, you can say fine to your to the wheels fall off, but at the end of the day, there's something that has happened that you are pushing down, you're not dealing with, or you're not even understanding that that's why you act the way that you act. So let's come together for these healing soul sessions, and let's get empowered to get ourselves together, because I'm telling you, when you're healed, you are free to become who you're destined and designed to be.
We believe God. Do you believe God? We believe God. We believe God. We believe God. We will see you tonight. Reverend Pat is coming right after us.
Yes.
So we have Reverend Pat right after us. Then you have us tonight, and then we're coming back tomorrow. Boom, boom, boom. That's how we do it. Have a blessed night. Look at me already at night. Have a blessed day. Love you.
Bye.